I'd like to greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be upon you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor religious beliefs may be. It doesn't matter if you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you the toughest to the weakest, light-skinned or dark-skinned. I greet all of you all with the same universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. This evening happened to be August the 19th, 2019, and the time being about 7:42 p.m. First, what I want to say, thank God, and I give high honors and respect and love to Eric Garner. May he rest in peace. The young brother that was strangled to death by some of the New York Police Department in New York. I say power to Eric Garner's daughter. Power to Eric Garner's daughter. Power to Eric Garner's daughter. You know why? Because even though in spite of the $5.6 million that the city settled to pay them for killing her father, she didn't stop with her fight to try to get the officer that put the chokehold on him that was illegal. The police department knew it. The city and everybody else knew it. But it took her 5 years of petitioning, and an administrative judge recommended to the commissioner of police to fire the particular police that put him in that illegal chokehold. I love to see people stand up against crooked police officers and crooked law enforcement officials, be it judges or anybody else. Now, that's something here in Charleston, Missouri that, hey now, that's something here in Charleston, Missouri, these white supremacists and these ignorant sellout blacks that I be telling y'all about in Mississippi County, Missouri. This is something they would be mad about or upset about. But that just goes to show you that officer thought it was all over. He thought that there was a black person like these ignorant sellout black Negroes down here in southeast Missouri, or in not southeast Missouri, but Mississippi County, Missouri. They'll take any type of money and things to sell out their soul. But this woman didn't. And another thing what I want to show y'all about how racist, how unjust, and how ignorant some of the people here in Charleston, not just Charleston, Missouri, but in Mississippi County. Now, let me show you some injustice. Now, here it is. In 2001, I was working at Pilot Traveling Center, where the new McDonald's is now, across the street from Boomland. On the same thing as the Pilot truck stop was, right on the side of it was a truck stop where they fixed trucks, and a guy that had his own trucking company had his mechanics fixing on their truck. I so happened to be talking to a Mexican female on my lunch break at Pilot, and her white boyfriend approached coming from the mechanic part or the trucking part, and he told me about 20 feet away from me, and he called me the N-word, and I didn't know the situation with him and his Mexican girlfriend, but he said it's all your fault that we broke up. I had nothing to do with it that I know of. But anyway, he told me to come over there from Pilot to where the truck stop is at. The truck thing is from here to about where that truck is at. You see that white truck right there? Where the trucking company was right there and Pilot was right here. He said, come over here. This was like 2001. come over here and they'll find you in these weeds and bushes with a bullet in your head. At that particular time, anybody that ain't non-sellout blacks or white supremacists, you know, around in 2001, 2000 and 2001, blacks was coming up missing in southeast Missouri, found in grain bins, in ditches, etc. I didn't take this lightly, nor did the Mexican female. She called the police. Charleston Police Department came. I think it was a sergeant by the name of Flintstone, I believe it was. And we gave him the report. He told me to go down there Monday and give the clerk a statement to make a complaint. I did, so did the Mexican female, because the guy had fled away. And the sergeant wasn't really concerned in getting it, because it's a black man finna press charges on a white man. But let me show you this here now. When I did go down there, the investigator, the one who was investigating and made a police report out, was Captain Mooney. And I still got it, in case him or the police department try to dispute it. Now, it was a white female by the name of Emily Brown that lived on East Prairie, that was a cashier there at the time, and she witnessed it. She used to work in the Mississippi County jail here, detention center in Charleston, Missouri, not too long ago. Matter of fact, she was working there when Terry D. Sanders was murdered by the 5 or 6 law enforcement officials that went in his cell May of 2017. They didn't call it a murder though. A black man getting killed by a bunch of white individuals. And this, if the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. And I ain't saying all law enforcement officials or all white people is bad, but those that went in the cell, they know what they did, unless they tried to stop what was going on. But anyway, Emily Brown was a witness, and Scotty Thomas, a black individual that was the general manager at Pilot at the time. Now, when Mooney said he came up there that Monday to talk to both of them, he said they couldn't be found. So that was the end of his investigation. Now, both of them worked 5 days a week. He wasn't interested in trying to talk to them, period. The court system never had me to come to court, never told me they arrested them. The Mexican girl had to tell me that they arrested him. Now, he was charged with a hate crime because he called me the N-word, and he was charged with harassment, and he was charged with verbal assault. Those was the charges. They never informed me about the court. But then when he did go to court, they never told me the result. A few years down the line, when I got to going through a lot of things with this unjust Charleston Police Department and unjust system here, I went down there to get a copy of what was the disposition of this guy. Let me tell you what they did. They broke the charge down to trespassing. Trespassing had nothing to do with him calling me the N-word, saying that he was going to have a bullet in my head and they was going to find me in the bushes. You see what I'm saying? That had nothing to do with it. See, he wasn't trespassing because he had a right to be on this property just like I did, because I worked it for the truck stop and he worked it for the guy who had the mechanic shop for the trucks. Then they just fined him $50. That go to show you what they think about, you know, Raymond Lewis Ivy, or just a white being charged against a black. Hey, how y'all doing? And I got several other things to show how unjust this system is. Now, 4 times, and I have the forms that I filled out for the expo tape. 4 times some individuals threatened me. 3 times they come by my house. 1 time they came to my job. This is what the judge said. He denied my expo tape and said that he'll hear the case when we go to court. Ain't that something? When we go to court. Now, let me show you something else. Now, on this corner down here, right down on this corner down here, on April the 9th, 2017, It was an individual down there that used to work for Susanna Wesley Learning Center. Everybody knew who he was. Worked for Susanna Wesley Family Learning Center. Was down the street telling children that I raped children and I was a pedophile. Right before he did that, he was over here across the street to my house telling some of my neighbors that I'm videoing their house. They came to tell me. I went down there because this ain't the first time he was telling people these things about me. I went down there with my camera to video to show him. Videoed him for about 4 minutes or something. Not one time did he call the police. A female whose kids was down there with him, she called the police. But look, she's working right now with him in the Lincoln School. You know, it's all one thing. Lincoln School. Some of the judges up there in the 33rd Circuit here in Mississippi County, Susanna Wesley Family Learning Center, the police department, some of the people in the sheriff department. You see what I'm saying? And Lincoln University. But this judge gave this man a temporarily expose against me. Now this judge shouldn't have never heard it, because this judge, before he became judge, he was working for the Susanna Wesley Learning Center as an attorney. This guy that was down the street telling these people these kids this about me, he was working for it. The same people. That's a conflict of interest. But I had to get another judge, Judge Gary Camp, out of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, to take this man's place, and he threw it out. But look here, this same judge now, on August the 14th, 2019, two guys was doing exactly the same thing. They came on this corner twice. Then another time on January the 30th, 2019 at night, harassing me and my family. Then on April the 9th, 2019, they went on this same corner. Then they went to the police station on April the 22nd, harassing me. The judge didn't want to hear none of that, but he let a racist officer that had something to do with the killing of the black man from Tennessee in the detention center here in Mississippi County, May of 2019. He let him get on the stand to testify for these two guys that I took to court for harassing me for something that happened on January the 30th and had nothing to do with January the 22nd. The state's attorney, the detective that wrote the report, his report wasn't there. He wasn't there because of the fact that he had to go to a funeral, and they knew he had to go to the funeral. So the state didn't have no evidence to go up against these guys. I had to show the evidence that I had on my phone. But the police detective could have came and testified and said that these guys had a history of doing this here. There was a video from the police department that had the whole scene of what happened. That wasn't even there. That just to go to show you how racist. You see what I'm saying? How racist this town is, how connected they is. You see what I'm saying? If the people working for the city, if they working for Susanna Wesley, if they working for Lincoln University, the police department, and some of the people that's working in the sheriff department, they got certain judges up there that would allow these people to do anything, long as they doing it in the black community. But I thank Judge Dolan for taking me off of this list. I thank Judge Brown in 2008 for giving me the custody of my children, even though he made an error in 2001 when he found me guilty, when he let a jury find me guilty that they shouldn't even been on the bench. I mean, they shouldn't even been on that case. I shouldn't have never been charged. But Bobby Hearns was connected with it. And he was one of the ones that was on the board for Susanna Wesley. Arthur Cassell, the preacher down here, Elder Stephen Betts, or y'all call him Superintendent Betts. All of these people came to court on some of the time when the people was going to court against me. But I just go to show you how these people live. But one thing about it, just like Eric Garner, a daughter stayed on him, I'm going to stay on him too. Peace be still.